All right, all right, all right. Just waiting for YouTube to catch up to us, and then we'll get started. There's always that few seconds delay, and I know it's not very long. So actually, you probably all can hear me by now, but we'll find out in a second for sure. I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up. There we go. We're there. All right, everybody. Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome. It is Saturday night. Welcome to Misfit Corner Scams. This is the artist known as Andrew speaking, and I am so glad to be broadcasting tonight with you all. We had a little bit of an adventure last week, if you all remember. We had some trolls, some poop trolls, that came and decided to invade our space, and it was interesting. I find it very flattering that somebody would take time out of their busy day to try and ruin our stream by posting rather ugly comments, but that's okay. It was fun. Once again, to any of my regulars out there, if there's anybody out there who would like to be a moderator, for those of you who are unaware of what a moderator on a channel is, it's somebody who has the power to edit. Maybe not edit. I don't think they can edit chats, but they can pause people or they can kick people off of a chat. So if there's anybody out there, any of the regulars who would like to be a moderator and have that power, and they call it in YouTube, you get a wrench next to your name, so that when you're posting comments, people can see that you're a moderator on the channel. If any of you out there would like to be a moderator, just let me know and I'll throw it out there. But let's go ahead and start the show. Let's read the comments and see who is all is here. I have sent an invite out to Avery. He hasn't joined just yet, but I literally just sent the invite like 2 minutes ago. So we'll see if he's able to join. But of course, Tim's here. Says good evening from the cold Western Kentucky. Well, welcome, sir. Welcome. It was a little wet today here in Jacksonville, but not that cold. Probably in the, I don't know, maybe 60s, but definitely wet. We got wet. Jim R's here, says good evening. All happy Saturday night. Well, welcome to the show. BB's here, says hello to everybody. Hey. Jim says good evening to Bebe. BB, sorry. I'm having one of those types of days. Manuel's here, says good evening, Tim. Welcome to the show, Manuel. Darlene's here. Hi, everyone, she says. Manuel says good evening to BB. Happy Saturday night. Tim says 2 days ago we had 60s. Last night we got several inches of snow. Wow. I think we're completely done with the cold weather, the freezing cold weather, which is perfectly fine by me. But for all of you out there who still have to deal with it, just stay warm. Stay warm as best you can. BB says good evening to Jim. Jim says good evening to Manuel. Sarah's here. Sarah says good evening, all from Connecticut. Welcome to the show. Glenn's here. How you doing, Glenn? Says, gosh, this week went by fast. It sure did. For those of you out there who know, I am retiring from my day job the end of April. And I was originally counting down how many Fridays I had left. And I did a quick count to see where I'm at. I am not yet into single digits, but I'm almost into single digits. There, I have 10 Saturdays left. And what was really funny is I had a conference call with my boss and some of my other coworkers Friday, and I mentioned to them right as we got to the end of the call. I said, "Hey, does anybody want to know the countdown?" And they were all like, "Nope, we don't want to hear it." Shut up! Don't tell us! Don't tell us! And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy! I'm so excited! I can't wait to be retired from that job. It's a good job. It's a great job. I love it, but I'm ready to move on to other adventures, and I am so happy you guys are here with me. So thank you, Glenn. Appreciate you joining. Manuel says hello to Darlene. Darlene says we got a little snow here in New Hampshire. Okay. BB says good evening to Manuel. Manuel says happy Saturday night. Sarah says, hello, Drew and Avery. Welcome, Sarah. He's not here yet. I did send him an invite. If he makes it, that's great. If not, it's all right. It's all right. Darlene says, good evening to Manuel. Manuel says, good evening to Glenn. Glenn says, no tools tonight. Not yet. Not yet. You don't know. There could be some. They kind of came out of the blue last week. It was very interesting. I think we talked about trolls. BB says we got snow yesterday, but it melted today. Okay. Well, we had what we call Florida snow today, which is rain. It's not. It's wet, and it's not super cold, but it's wet. Sarah says your video this morning was all right. Excellent. Cool. I often forget what the videos are, but I remember I had a couple that I thought were really, really funny. So hopefully you guys will enjoy. I have several more. I just have to make the videos and have them ready. But I don't know if any of y'all noticed. There was a day last week. It was last Saturday actually. It was last Saturday. I did not have any videos that came out. Friday night, I made a daily video in a short or a bonus video, I think it was, and just completely forgot to schedule. And it wasn't till after the stream last week that I started working on the next video for Sunday. And I went to go get ready to post it, and I'm like, wait, where was the one for? I was like, what happened? What happened? And I looked. I never scheduled the dang thing, and I felt so bad. It's like, well, technically, I had the live stream, so that counts as a video per day. But nope, totally dropped the ball, guys. Totally just pooped on the court. But but I try very hard to make sure you guys get a video and a short, or a video, a short, and a bonus. Just because you guys know how much fun I have making these videos, and I will do my best to stay on the ball, keep on track, and I appreciate you all being here. Thanks again, Sarah. Pamela's here, says, love the channel. Well, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate it. I like your picture. It's got a kitty. It looks like a kitty. I can't tell. Maybe. I see ears in the picture. That's why I'm assuming it's a kitty. Birth says, good evening to everyone. Welcome to the show. Pamela says, hello, Andrew. Thank you. Hello. Smidgen's here. Hey, Smidgen says, hey to everybody. BB says, can't hear you, Drew. Oh, no. Are you able to hear me? Oh, crap. Hold on a second. Hello? Okay. All right. I can hear. I'm coming through now. I just checked. So let me know if, dang it. Maria says, hi to Andrew. Hello. Welcome to the show. Tim says, did you ever get your groceries? No, I still have not. Still haven't gotten the groceries. It's so weird. I'm not sure if did you guys see the video in which the guy was telling me that he was going to have me talk to the store owner? He started to play along with that one. That was a lot of fun. Manuel says, good, happy Saturday or Sunday for Pamela. Andy's here. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Says, hey there, Drew. Welcome to the show. Smidgen says, I bought TP and a plunger. You brought TP and a plunger. Okay, good, because if the poop trolls show back up, we might need it. Pamela says, hello, everyone. Manuel says, hey, Maria, good evening. Sarah says, I'm a moderator. That's right. I made Sarah a moderator last time. Anybody else want to be a moderator? Just holler at me and let me know. BB says, oh, my bad. I had the sound off. Oh. It was just BB this time. Okay, great. You guys know that's one of the quickest ways to panic me, because of the fact that it was just recently that we had a stream in which it was just me. Avery wasn't here, and I must have hit the mute on my headset and was talking to you guys for a good 7 or 8 minutes before I caught up with the chat to figure out that I was muted. So I appreciate you looking out for me. Oh, hold on just a quick second. Sorry, a little bit of oh, it's coming again. Hold on. Goodness gracious. We're by the way, for those of you who don't know, we're in heavy pollen season right now, where you go outside and your car, instead of being covered in white snow, is covered in yellow pollen. And it's oak and pine tree pollen, and it's everywhere. And the last couple of days, the cars have been utterly covered. Not bad enough to where a little bit of rain is a bad thing. Rain helps wipe it away, but you get out there and you're like, oh, you can almost feel it. It's like hit you. It's like a brick to the face. But we're gonna make it through. We're gonna make it through. Burr says, hopefully we had a quieter evening. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Glenn says, oops, no trolls tonight. I volunteered to moderate. Oh, okay, Glenn. I will hold on just a second. I have to jump over to the YouTube version in order to let's see, Glenn. Let's see. I'm gonna hit the three little buttons and add as moderator. Glenn's a moderator. Welcome to the channel, Glenn. Now that you're new here and you've never been here before, my name's Andrew. Glenn's been around for a while, and I appreciate it. Manuel says, good evening to Smidgen. Smidgen says, waves to Manuel. Nigella's here. Hey, Nigella, how's it going? Says, good evening. Pamela says, no trolls. Well, so far. Actually, I went back and checked just to see how many IDs were being used in order to troll the stream. I counted 12 individual IDs. Now, that could mean one person with 12 different IDs. But the simple fact that someone or somebody's out there took the time out of their busy Saturday night to come in and try to screw with us it means something to me. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen again and happen often, but you know what? It's one of those things that happens when maybe it's a sign of you're doing something right that people want to stop you. I mean, that, you know, what's that expression? The saying, you guys know I'm going to screw this up, but it's the conspiracy one, where you say it they're not everybody's after you unless they're after you, something like that. You know what I mean? I'm screwing this up. Somebody else out there will say it right. Avery would know what I'm talking about. But Emmanuel says hello to Andy. Emmanuel says good evening to Nigella. B Bernie V says hello all. Drew, love your videos. Thank you. Today was rather quiet on the call front. I got a couple of calls while I was at the store. Matter of fact, I wanted to tell you guys, my very first scam call this morning was at 8:15 in the morning. It was one of the home security ones. And I'm like, I was shocked that they were calling me so early in the morning. I mean, I was sitting in front of my computer. The call was very short because I literally said to the lady, I said, wow, you guys sure are starting out early, and click, she hung up. But man, I didn't get very many calls today. I did get one call while I was in the store, and I started to mess with the guy and tease him and screw with him. And I knew who was in the store with me, so I knew I could get away with this. So I cursed very loudly, and one of the guys turned the corner and said, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, no problem. It's a scam call. He's like, oh, okay. He didn't know. He really didn't realize what was happening. And it was, I dropped an MFer on the call just because the guy was ticking me off and I was having fun with him. And he was like, whoa, I've never heard you curse before. I said, no, it was a scam call. Trust me. And he was like, oh, okay. I have a regular that comes into my store. His name's Ahmed, and he and I get into heated discussions about movies, and he gets very animated with him. And there are times where he'll go off on a rant, and normally I don't mind. I mean, but we have a rule: no spoilers when there's somebody else in the store, and he has to look around, make sure we're not spoiling a movie for anybody. And he also knows no cursing when there's kids in the store. and he likes to get very, very animated sometimes. And I've had to, hey, remember those two rules: no spoilers, and no cursing. But you have to pay attention who's in your store. You have to pay attention to who's in the area before you start saying something that somebody might take offense to. So I have to do it myself. That's all I'm saying. All right, that was a long-winded way of saying don't curse in the store when you don't know who's there. Glenn says Puxatawny Phil lied. 15 degrees last night. Oh, okay. Is it Puxatawny? Am I saying that right? Actually, we have one. I think we have a groundhog that they talk about on the news here in Jacksonville, and I think he also saw his shadow. But we're not getting winter weather, so yeah. LA says, "Hey, I noticed every Sunday scammers are off or take our off day. I get calls on Sunday, but very, very infrequently. The weekend is usually very quiet. And usually when that happens, that means Monday is going to be very, very busy. But I never can expect how many calls I'm going to get. I'll get 15 calls one day, 50 calls the next. I never know. And usually what I do notice is that as the month comes to an end, or we get close to the end of the month, the number of calls picks up. So I'll most likely get some more calls next weekend on the Sunday, because it's the last Sunday before the end of the month. But yeah, usually Sunday is a very, very quiet day. So, which is nice. They get to take time off, so that's good. Andy says, "Hey to Manuel." Manuel says, "Happy Saturday to B Bernie B." Alonzo's here. Hey, Alonzo says, "Thanks for messing with the scammers and making the best of something annoying." Alonzo, I've told this story before. Many years ago, I got a scammer on the phone, and I was just so mad. They kept calling, and I told them, I said, "Stop calling me." And the guy said, "We will never stop calling you." And then at that moment, I said, "Well, then I'm never going to stop screwing with you." And I've been doing it ever since. And I find it so utterly amazing how many of these calls I get and how often I get them. I'm not out there trying to stop them from calling, but you'd think after I've got recordings going all the way back to 2018. I've got 6 years worth of them calling me every day, and they keep doing it. It's just insane. They're really dumb, but you gotta love it. Dave's here. Hey, Dave. He says, "Hello, Drew. Welcome to the show, Dave." Manuel says, "LA, good morning. Happy Sunday." Sarah says, "Thanks, Manuel." Dave says, "Hey to Manuel." Manuel says, "Hello to Dave." Glenn says, "Retired or retreaded?" I almost said that wrong. Retired or retreaded? I keep telling the family that I'm retiring from this one job. I have many others. Between my store, my YouTube channel, my books, all that, I have lots of other stuff. This is not me going to sit on a beach and relaxing every day. It's not going to happen. I have so much stuff to do, so much stuff I want to do, and so much more stuff I can do. I'm just ending that one part of my day. And I think in the long run, I will be much, much better for it. It's very straining on my eyes. My biggest problem is with my eyes nowadays. And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. My wife keeps being concerned, and I had this conversation with the wife and the kids before I decided to retire from this job. And I said, I need to be able to step away from my computer, because my job requires me literally to sit in front of a computer all day long. And my wife's like, "Well, you sit in front of your computer no matter what." I said, yes, that's true. But I don't have to, is the whole thing. I can step away for a half a day and not sit in front of my computer all day if I was retired. There's a difference. Right now, because of the job, I have to be in front of my computer. I have to be reading stuff. I have to be following stuff. And that's the thing I need to get away from. So I'll still work in front of the computer. A lot of my art, a lot of the YouTube stuff, of course, is in front of a computer, but I don't have to do it 8 hours a day. I can do it in smaller bits. So that's where the healthier part comes into the story, is being able to step away from the computer and still be able to live and have a life and work and make money and do that stuff. But I don't have to do it sitting directly in front of the computer all day. Whew. Long story. All right, sorry guys. This is what happens when it's just me. I start talking and I don't shut up. Just imagine being on a road trip with me. Avery has been on several road trips with me, and he knows that pretty much from the moment we leave to the moment we get to our destination, my mouth is flapping. I don't shut up, and I talk and I talk and I keep talking, and I truly appreciate YouTube and you guys giving me an outlet to do that. So once again, I'm supposed to, somebody's probably already said it in the chat, but I'm supposed to say it. Oops, sorry. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button if you have an opportunity. Thank you all. All right, let's keep going. Jim says, got a scam call from the Firemen's Association asking me for donations. The phone number was from the Netherlands. Really? Holy crap. Now, see, that's either they're spoofing a number or the Firefighters Association is outsourcing to a Netherlands call center. Either way, that's crazy. Thanks, Jim. Manuel says, we got cold weather today in Louisiana. Okay, my friend, stay warm if you can. Smudgeon says, Sarah Dillon, thanks for being an admin. Absolutely. Manuel says, yes, I'm waiting for Avery. Oh, well, like I said, I sent him an invite. If he's able to come, great. If he can't, it's all right. I understand. He is an artist and does that pretty much full time right now. And one of the things about the way artists tend to work is they don't have set 9 to 5 hours. They work whenever they're able to. And he has a tendency, he'll work all the way through the night and crash at like 5 and 6 in the morning. He's done that many, many times before. So actually 8 o'clock on a Saturday night is like the middle of when he'd be asleep, in order to work through the night. But fingers crossed he's okay. I know he's fine. He's fine. As a matter of fact, usually he will text me and let me know if he's not able to make it. I don't get a text, which means he's probably sleeping. All right, let's see what else is going on. Glenn says, Mike is choppy. It is? Well, I keep playing with it. So I keep moving it and knocking it about. Let me just make sure I'm fully plugged in correctly. Yeah, I'm actually, it's a little frayed. I'm almost certain that's a cat messing with my wires. Tim says, you are having trouble with your sound. Okay, hopefully it's okay now. Goodness gracious. Let me see. I'm going to just turn on the sound real quick. All right. It appears from what I can hear on the YouTubes, it's coming through okay. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a problem. Let's see what else we got going on here. Whoop. When I move down the chat, things start to jump. Manuel says, I like your video this morning. Awesome. I laughed so much about scamming. Fantastic. Sarah says, smash that like. There you go. I knew it was coming. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. RKV, is that RecV? Says, hi, Drew. Missed the notification on the live stream. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. I stopped doing 3 videos a day on Saturday. I only do at least a minimum of 2 or a maximum of 2. That way they do send out a notification on the live stream, but I don't control YouTube anymore. I don't have that control like I want. Burst says, one question that seems to aggravate scammers is asking them why they scam. Whether I ask them and they never fail to say F you and hang up. I always find it funny when I bring up that the call is a scam. I'll get one of 3 responses. They will either say, no, this is not a scam. Of course not. It's not a scam. They will realize it's a scam and start cursing at you, or they'll simply hang up. And it's all that but the hang up part is probably the most common response I get. If somebody legitimately calls me about a business thing or something, and I ask them, is this a scam? They're going to say, of course not. This isn't a scam. And they will try to convince you that it's not. They're going to hang up when they know you know it's a scam. And as often as they do hang up when you bring up the fact, I think this is a scam. Click. There you go. That's proof right there that most likely it is. It's not 100% proof, but most likely it is. Don't be afraid to ask people, because honestly, if somebody calls you for a legitimate business purpose, right, and you ask them, hey, is this a scam? This sounds like a scam. If it's not, if they actually have a legitimate reason for calling you, they're going to defend themselves. They're going to be actively defending themselves. So it's almost like when my son and I would go to a convention, he would always say, I saw something and I wanted to make it, see if I could make a deal. I always tell them, the only thing they're going to do is say no. The only thing, if you say, hey, this is a $10 item, I'll give you $5 for it. The only thing they can say is yes or no. And that's the worst they can say. I tell them, I said, they're not going to come after you with a hammer, So ask the question when you're dealing with a caller. Don't be afraid to say, is this a scam? And ask. What's the worst they can do? Freak out and say, oh no, you figured me out. I'm so horrible. I'm a horrible person. No, that's not going to happen, but have fun with it. Have fun. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at the reaction. Dave says, Sarah, I hit it so hard it hit me back. Well, fantastic. Thank you, Dave. Manuel says, hello to Rick V. Rick V says to Manuel, hello. Jim says, got an Amazon scam Monday with an old $1,500 MacBook Pro. Yep, that is the most common Amazon scam call I get. I've gotten a few recently that either never made it to the person, or as soon as I start talking to them, they hang up. So they must have some type of note on my telephone number that I'm going to mess with them. So I haven't gotten a really good Amazon scam call in a while, one that we can drag out for several minutes, screwing with them. But 100% of those Amazon calls, as you guys know, are nothing but scams, especially the MacBook Pro being sent to Albany, New York. And I love how horrible they are at saying Albany. I don't know why they chose Albany, because none of them can say it right. So it's always wonderful. Manuel says, hello to Burst. Happy Saturday. Andy says, Drew, the other day I got a Medicare scam. It was a lady on there and she asked my number. So I asked her the number. She said, I can't help you, and hung up. Then not even 20 seconds called me back, the same lady. Now that's interesting. Now I got a call earlier this week where it wasn't a foreign sounding lady. So that was clue number one, that it might be valid. They actually asked for the person who lives in this home that has Medicare. And they didn't say they were calling from Medicare. They didn't say they were calling from the marketplace. They didn't say they said they were calling from the company that she has her Medicare plan with. I'm not saying it. I'm not advertising who she has it with, but they claim to be from, and I said, okay, no problem. I mean, I didn't have to press any further. They knew her name. They knew the company that she has her Medicare plan through. And I took the phone to her and she talked. And afterwards I asked her, I said, so what was it about? And she said, oh, and she told me what it was. And it was all valid stuff. But it's when they call and they ask for Timothy, or they ask for Herschel, or they ask for Carl, that I know they're full of crap. So I had one recently. I'm not sure if I made it into a video yet, where they were very insistent that they were from Medicare and they were looking for Timothy. And it's like, you're doesn't exist. That person does not exist. So that's great. It's great that you got that name and number. You got this number and that name from Medicare. Yes, very good. Very good. Because you are a very smart person. Love it. Rec V says, Drew, you are perfectly qualified to this screen. Well, thank you. Thank you. I am. Glenn says audio okay now. Okay, good. Guys, I've been fiddling with the wire pretty much since we started the stream. I'm keeping it up so I don't accidentally lean against it and put the mute button on again. So if it does go in and out, it's probably because I'm literally playing with my wire. I'll try hard not to do that, but okay. BB says, sorry, I scared you like that. It was my fault. So sorry, Drew. No problem. I mean, honestly, BB, I'm not that bright, so it's very easy for me to make some stupid mistake like that. But I'm glad you're out there keeping an eye on me, so I appreciate it. Dee He says, hey, Drew and chat, I'm new, but I look forward to your video every morning. You make my day. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. I do enjoy making videos, and I appreciate everybody out there who watches. Oh, here he is. Let me bring the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Avery.
Hello.
How the heck are you?
I'm okay, man.
Okay. You sound very chipper this evening.
I'm fine.
You're fine? Okay, good.
Yeah, I lost track of time and didn't realize what time it was.
Well, I was telling them that your work schedule is rather crazy. An artist's work schedule is often very crazy.
Yeah.
So,
right now, I'm done.
Oh, okay. That last
Right
project
now,
you're working on is done?
Yeah, I'm done with my part.
Okay, very good.
I got lost watching cartoonist kayfabe episodes.
Oh. I hate to admit it, but I'm still on Grey's Anatomy. I think I'm on season 13 now, and I'm getting new episodes that I've never seen before. So I've gone past where I last stopped, and but it's still going. It's literally, I don't think it's ever going to stop. So.
I've never watched that show. It doesn't really pull me in.
Yeah, I know, but
what's got me is Primal, because I've never watched it before.
Is that the animated one?
Yeah, the Gennady Tartakovsky.
Oh, I was that first episode, like mentally wounded me. It was there was so much.
The storytelling is amazing.
Oh, I know, but
there's not one word spoken.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen more than the first episode, though.
Oh, dude,
maybe the second.
It's so good.
Now, what streaming service is that currently on?
Prime.
All right, I have Prime. I can watch it.
The first 2 seasons, anyway. I think there's a third you'd have to pay for.
Okay.
But seasons 1 and 2 are on Prime.
No, I remember.
So good.
I remember watching the first episode and just getting punched in the gut.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an animated series, and like you said, there's no word spoken, but that animation is so intense. And
the storytelling is masterful. It doesn't need a word spoken to understand everything.
Well,
the storytelling is just.
One of these days, I'll have to go back to it. So I didn't realize there were that many seasons. I only thought there was one season.
There's 3. 2 of them are on Prime.
Okay, excellent. All right, back to the chat. Manuel says, "Hey, when you get your groceries from the scammers, order this morning." Nope, I'm never going to get them. I just know for a fact they're never coming in. One of the things I've been doing with the scammers that claim to be from the marketplace, Avery, is ask them, "Hey, where's my grocery order? I just ordered some milk and eggs and cheese and butter and bread," and they're like, "What?" It's a lot of. I actually had one that said, "Oh yeah, I'm delivering that. It's coming. Let me let you talk to the store manager," and then he hung up on me.
Jeez.
So yeah. RK says, "Bless you." Well, thank you very much. I did sneeze a couple of times when earlier. So and Sarah says, "Bless you." Betty's here. Hey, Betty, how's it going? Says hello, Andrew, and everyone in the chat. Welcome to the show. Manuel says, "God bless you, Drew. God bless you again." I did sneeze twice, so I did get the mute button on. I did hit the mute button, so at least I knew it was coming.
You got the mute button in time. Good.
Yep. Betty says, "I thought you were crying." No, I was sneezing. I was talking about the pollen, how thick the pollen is right now. Oh, it's crazy. Manuel says, hello to Miss Betty. Smidgen says, I told an insurance scammer this week I have a court-appointed counselor several times because of my financial mess I got into. He still kept asking me for my social security number and email. That's sad. That's sad. Betty says, hello to Manuel. Charles is here. Hey, Charles says, hi, Happy New Year. I'm back from my holiday. Okay, excellent. Welcome back. D-Bad says, wow, I finally made it. Cheers while you're online. Okay, well, welcome to the show. Betty says, hello to Smidgen. Manuel says, hey to Charles. Darlene says, we blocked the troll's name so they won't be able to be seen on the chat. Okay, good. Well, I don't know if there's any trolls coming through so far today. You guys will let me know if there was. Margaret's here. Hey, Margaret says, I listen to you every day. You were good with spammers. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much, Margaret. Glenn says, repeat after me. I state your name, your name. Very good. Betty says, our Smidgen says hi to Betty. Stan's here, and Stan says, had several people from India leech onto my roommate's Netflix account. Had to change the password. Oh goodness! Were you able to actually? I know you can on your Netflix, the main account can see who all's logged in and where they're from. That's crazy. I should check mine. I think the only people that actually have have the login for my Netflix account, unless they've shared it with people, is my kids. So I'll have to find out. Normally, I don't worry about it too much. Naki is here, says, hey, Drew, every time you get a call from Orthopedic Medical or Medicare, that's not me or my friends. Well, it's funny because every time I get a call from somebody claiming to be about the orthopedic medical stuff, I've gotten used to asking them, hey, do you know Wayne? Do you know Wayne Schneider? And a lot of them say no, they don't know Wayne. I say, oh, come on, he's the only honest guy in the business, which means most likely you're a scammer. And they usually are. Smidgen says, good idea to Darlene. Sarah says, maybe the trolls are actually the people who you screw with. Good possibility. Good possibility. We were talking about how we got the poop trolls last week. And,
oh, yes. So
yeah,
original poop.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on. That's the level of maturity and intelligence we deal with when it comes to trolls. So
bottom barrel.
Yep, absolutely. Glenn says, do you make your own decisions? No, I buy a pre-made ones from the marketplace deli. I like the jelly-filled ones best. Very good. Very good. Charles says, sorry, I missed most of your lives. I got lots of videos and get thrown and to get through and caught up. Okay. Well, you know me. There is one day where I missed putting up a video. That was actually last Saturday. I completely and utterly forgot to post the videos that I made. So last Saturday, there's only the live stream. Avery, I was so ashamed of myself.
The shame.
I literally, after the live stream, was working on posting the Sunday's video and realized there was no Saturday video. And I was like, what the hell happened? And nope, turns out I just missed it. Oh, and I forgot to mention it in the last stream, guys, where I had asked the question, the trivia question, what is the largest U.S. city? And I screwed up. I said continental United States. What I meant to say was continuous. I think that's the word. Avery knows what I'm talking about. But within the 48 states inside North America, not the continent of North America, but just inside the 48 states.
What they call the lower 48.
The lower 48, yes. Jacksonville is the largest U.S. city landmass-wise, which is what I was getting at. I just screwed up and said it wrong. Because a lot of people corrected me because there are a lot of larger cities in Alaska, but we don't count them. It's not that they're not cities. They're just mostly snow-covered wastelands. Which
they're not a part of the congruent.
Yes, and
United States, contiguous.
Yes, contiguous.
United States.
Yes,
they're not connected.
That's right. In the 48 lower states, the largest landmass city in the U.S. is Jacksonville, Florida. it's one thing we can be proud of, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys know? Here's a trivia question.
Uh-oh.
What is the smallest state in the United States with the longest original name? The original name for the state. It's the longest, has the most letters, the most words, whatever, but we had the longest original name. See if anybody knows.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know that one. I would guess and say New Hampshire, but I don't know.
Nope. Sarah says, happy anniversary or birthday to anybody celebrating. Yeah, if you're celebrating, let us know. Rec V says, smiley faces for Glenn. Eukalina says, hello. Well, welcome to the show. Margaret says, hope you get scammers to call you. Oh, how do you get scammers to call you? Well, I think for us, the one thing that connected us to the most scammers was several years ago. I think it was 2016. My wife's grandmother, my kid's great-grandmother, was diagnosed with onset dementia and could no longer live at home alone. So my wife and I volunteered to move in and live with her. And we lived with her for almost a year. And all of our telephone numbers were then associated with her. And that's where a lot of the calls started coming in, was they were for her because of our association with her and that number. And it's just always continued ever since then. So how do you get scammers to call you? They just do. There's nothing that I do on purpose to get them to call. Actually, my wife jokes, she goes, do you want me to go on Google and start Googling stuff? Because that will get them, because they will buy numbers and information from Google and other search engines and stuff in order to make lists of people to call.
Yeah.
And the more you look for stuff, the more your number or your information gets out there.
Yeah. And when you buy stuff online and they also ask for your phone number, there you go.
Yeah.
Because companies that you buy stuff from online will sell all that information.
They will. They absolutely will. And scammers buy it as well. So
yeah.
There's nothing specific that I do that I have done. I'm just on their list, and I will probably never, ever get off it, which is okay. I don't mind. I make a little bit of a living doing it. So, yay! Smidgen says, thank you to Glenn for being an admin. Absolutely. Manuel says to Marguerite, happy Saturday night. Ukulele says, I got a call from John at Customer Insurance. Don't you love some of their generic names for the companies they work for? I work for the healthcare center, or I work for the Medicare Department of Health Insurance. It's like, what? They don't realize how words work, so it's fun. Shigete Media Production says, hello, just recently subbed. Great stuff. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Dee Dee says, hey, Drew, now if I send you an envelope, can I count on you to return it with a donation? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll even throw in a nice little note for you. Darlene says, I report and block a lot of trolls on other chats, especially political ones. Okay. Well, we don't get a lot of those here. At least we haven't, which is good because we try very hard not to delve into politics. Matter of fact, my father-in-law gave me some advice many years ago. And what he said was, as somebody who wants to be in entertainment, because at the time I was working on my own comics, I was working on my own graphic novels. He said, you really don't want to discuss religion, politics, social things, those things that have a tendency to immediately inflame people or make them make a decision about you without knowing anything about you. And he said the reason why you shouldn't do that is because you're going to immediately turn off half your audience, no matter what position you take. And it doesn't matter, because as soon as you take one of those highly charged positions, whether it's religion or politics and so forth, you're going to immediately turn off half of your audience. It's just going to happen. So, If somebody wants to have a conversation about politics, or somebody wants to talk about religion, or somebody wants to talk about social issues, let's talk one-on-one. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. I am not going to go out there and just broadcast to everybody the stupid ideas that I might have, because you know what? Then you're going to realize how stupid I am. So probably the quickest way to lose people, you know? But I thank you all once again for being here. Thank you, Darlene. Betty says, Andrew, you're doing a great job at scam baiting. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Sarah says, my husband got a call from one of those cable companies. We don't have that service. And he hung up and wouldn't screw with them. Why not? He should. Especially when you know, especially when you get that call from that company you know you don't do business with. They're asking for it. They called you. They're begging you. They're begging you to mess with them. That's the whole reason why they called. I love it when they say, I'm calling from your cable service or your TV service or your electric provider. They don't even know the name. And it's so great to mess with those guys. They are literally saying to you, hello, I'm a scammer and I'm calling you. When they say that, you got to love it. Glenn says, you need to ask the scammer Monday why they are calling on a holiday. It's dead President's Day. It is. And if I get any calls, I will. Actually, I was just asking my wife if we had any plans for Monday, and we actually do. We have some running around we have to do. Because next weekend. Next weekend's the last weekend of February, right? Yes, my daughter's having her bridal shower, and we have to go and order the food and all that. So we're going to go Monday and take care of that and get that all out of the way. And so I'll be out and about doing stuff and not working and enjoying a day off. I love holidays on Mondays. They're wonderful things. Betty says to Darlene, there's a lot of impersonators leaving comments on videos. They pretend to be able to recover money to people who've been scammed. I have seen some of those, and when I do see them, I tend to try to delete them and get rid of them, because they're just another way of reaching people and trying to scam them. There's a lot of that going on, so just be aware of it. Jim says these scammers keep coming up with so many fake healthcare company names, and not one of them exists. That is absolutely true. I love it when they call and they say they're calling from Nationwide. Nationwide doesn't do healthcare, which is funny, because I think at some point, I'm not sure if they just make that stuff up, make up the names, or they find a name that sounds like it might be legitimate. But yeah, it's always fun. My phone's going off for some reason. I'm trying to ignore it. DeBad says blue blocker glasses help. Okay. Yes and no. I have my issue with my eyes is more related to my diabetes than anything else. So blue blockers I've had in the past are not going to help me as much as you'd think. Honestly, I want to stop working. I want to stop looking at my screen 8 hours a day. I want to get away from that, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to have fun with it. Smidgen says, Betty, I reported those profiles when I see them, especially on Facebook. See, I haven't been on Facebook in so long. I don't know really what's going on over there. I tend to Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram. I have accounts there. I just don't go there. I tell everybody I'm on YouTube. That's my social media of choice. That's where I can handle it. So Susie says, hello, I'm late, but very interested. Well, thank you, Susie. Thanks for joining us. Betty says to Smidgen, that is great. Daniel says, I watch News 10 about scammer calls. Lady says the caller asked her to send money. One kid, she said, was scamming. Okay. Send money for the kids. Yeah, that's somebody who had been commenting on my channel about the calls where they say a relative is in jail or something and need help getting them out. That's a very, very common scam. They love to take advantage of older people with that one, because older people tend to panic when they hear that. And it's a very easy way for them to try to steal money from people. But everybody in my audience is well aware of those and wouldn't ever fall for those, especially Manuel. Manuel knows, right? Manuel knows, he knows what's going on. Darlene says to Betty, I'm getting good at recognizing them. I saved my son from getting his bank account wiped out. He had called a bogus track phone helpline. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they try any way they can. You guys know that. Glenn says, earplug sold here with Drew's filter, only $299.99. Then it'd be purchased with Bitcoin. Yeah, there you go. Manuel says, my friend Drew, we are celebrating my baby sister's birthday next weekend with family. Very good, very good. We'll tell her happy birthday from us. Manuel says, yeah, I sound good. Okay. Yeah, there was a problem earlier on, Avery, where the audio was chopping in and out. It was literally because I kept playing with the cord. And actually, what's so funny is I was looking at the cord, and there's like frayed areas right in the middle of it. I'm pretty sure a cat was gnawing on my my headset. Yep. So now that we have 5 of them, we have 5 cats now in the house.
That's too many.
It's about 5 too many. But I told you, I think I told you guys the story. We had one night when it was supposed to get very, very cold. It was supposed to dip into freezing area. We heard a meowing, and we thought it was in the house. We thought it was the TV. Turns out there was a kitten on the back patio, and we let her in, and she has kind of become part of our family now. And then my niece recently moved into a new apartment, and her best friend, who are sharing the apartment, they're only allowed to have 2 pets, and they had 3 cats. So they asked if we would adopt one of their 3 cats. So we recently got a 5th cat.
Wow.
Yeah. And as soon as Avery says yes, I'm shipping a couple of them up to him.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's what I figured you'd say. Darlene says, Betty says to Darlene, answer the best you can. Again, awareness is the best we can do against scammers. When they don't make money, it's when we win. Thank you for doing that. Absolutely. BB says, I wonder where the 2 of us is tonight. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. I'm sure they're around. Smidgen says, I saw a video yesterday about a cell phone getting taken over. It's about a SIM card swap. Vicky and Benji's channel posted. I recommend watching it. I don't know anything about that. Where cell phones get taken over? That's interesting. I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
I've heard of people cloning your phone.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but to what extent, I don't know. But very cool. I'll have to check it out. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Smidgen. Manuel says hello to Susie. Happy Sunday morning. Tarcord 854 says Sarah it's better not to use something like Cell to mess with them. If you make them mad, they will keep calling. Is that what I did? I get calls. I get so many calls, and I don't mind. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody's willing to do this. I have a lot of relatives who I tell about scam calls, and they're like, oh, we just hang up on them. We don't deal with it. We just hang up on them. And I'm like, you should screw with them. You should record it and screw with them. And they don't. They just hang up with them. Me, they call all the time. And if I make them mad and that's the reason why they call, then more for me because I monetize it. So it's a good thing for me. BB says, I have scammers tell me it's not a scam. Oh, what else would they tell you? They're not going to admit to it. I have had ones that have admitted to it in the past, but usually they're going to say, no, it's not a scam. You guys know what's going on. Manuel says, hey there, is the 2 of us not here tonight? At least not yet. I haven't seen any comments from them, so we'll see. Susie says, on one of your calls, you asked him the capital of Texas. He said Austin. I had forgotten. Scammer couldn't even spell it. Yeah, I think I don't remember. I think that we had a conversation about that in one of our live streams a few weeks ago, where we were saying, what's a good question to ask a scammer for them to prove whether or not they are where they're from. And when they say they're from Texas, ask them what's the capital of Texas. I think the person spelt it with an EN, I think is what it was. But honestly, I didn't know at the time. So, but yeah, feel free to ask them that and see what they say. So Tim says, I had asked a scammer, how's your mother? And they got furious. You ever notice that when they want to curse at you, they go for the mothers and the sisters?
Yeah, I think it's a bigger insult in their culture.
Oh, yes.
Because to us, it's like third grade stuff.
Yeah. No mothers, man. No mothers.
Yeah.
And you immediately make jokes about the mother.
Yeah, because it's schoolyard insults.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? With us, you, me, Todd, Romel, if we ever joked about each other's mothers, there was a really good chance you were going to see them eventually.
Yeah.
Our mothers were very active in our lives.
Yeah,
they were there. They were around. And actually, they're all still around.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's mother's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Those ladies. They're amazing. Gotta love them. Shit, Jen's mom's still around too. I mean, all the mothers are around.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Salt of the earth, those ladies, for putting up with us, especially.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Manuel says to Tarcord, happy Saturday night. Smidgen says, you're right, Manuel. Betty says, Amazon has never called me. Really? I guess you're lucky. I actually got one of the Amazon calls when Mike and I, Mike is my son for all anytime I mention Mike, that's who I'm talking about. He and I were going somewhere. As a matter of fact, we were leaving to go to MegaCon. And as we're walking out to the call, I got an Amazon scam. And I asked him, who are they calling for? And they said, Michael. And I'm like, yes, this is me. This is Michael. And he's like rolling his eyes like, Dad. And I said, let me see what they want. Of course, they were calling about my MacBook Pro. They use the same lines. It's crazy.
My MacBook Pro.
My MacBook, which I've never gotten.
Never. I would never buy a MacBook Pro.
Well, Darlene says, I'm not getting many email scams. I used to get 20 or 30 a day. Now I get maybe 5. Well, maybe that's a good thing. I don't even check my emails for I have a scam folder or a spam folder for both my email and my text. I never check it. I never even look. And it's probably filled with stuff that I ignore. Betty says, hi to Tim. Oh, the one that I've gotten recently, I'm not sure. I've got to get into it. Where I look at my phone, it says I've got a voicemail, but my phone never rang. And I called the phone, or I called the voicemail. Turns out I had 3 calls, all 3 claiming to be from Citibank, which I don't have a Citibank account, claiming that I had an unauthorized, all 3 of them, and they were different voices. 2 of them were very robotic sounding, and 1 actually sounded like a real person, but they were probably all auto. All 3 of them claimed to be from Citibank. All 3 of them called about charges to CVS Pharmacy. One was $480. One was $300 and something. And I actually have it written down. $480, $380, and $285. And they gave, of those 3 calls, 2 of the callback numbers were the same number, and 1 of them was separate. So they gave me 2 different callback numbers. The fact is, I don't have a Citibank account. So I can't wait to call these number back and screw with them and see what's going on. I didn't do it at the time because I had other stuff to do. But it's where you look at your phone, it says you got a voicemail, but your phone never rang. So they have the technology to do that.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. So those should end up being interesting calls. Hopefully they'll be interesting calls. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to those. I'll actually work on those next week. So Betty says, smiley faces to Tim. RK says, my favorite is how they pronounce Jacksonville. Sometimes it's Jacksonville, sometimes it's Jacksonville, and Jacksonville. Yeah, they have lots of different ways of saying Jacksonville, and very few do they actually say right. I always find it funny that Jacksonville is a difficult name for them to say. Wonderful. Betty says to Darlene, I keep buying crypto apparently. Oh, geez, you're getting those calls, huh? I've gotten a couple of those in the past. Burst says, yesterday got a scam call while in physical therapy. A fellow patient said, put it on speakerphone so we can double team them. Wonder why didn't like why they didn't like our shenanigans. Shenanigans are fun, guys. They're always fun. And what's the worst thing they can do? Call you back? Or share your number with other scammers who will call you nonstop and relentlessly. Well, it's going to happen anyway. They're going to share your number. If you answer your phone, that number immediately becomes something that they can sell to other scammers. So you can either not pick up the phone, or you're going to get calls. Period. It's just going to happen. It's part of life, which is sad. Smidgen says, my insurance company had a data breach several years ago. If they call, I still don't talk to them. I tell them I'll call the number on my card. Absolutely 100% exactly what you should do. Abso-frickin-lutely. Betty says to Burst, teamwork, yes. Smidgen says, hi to Avery.
Hey.
Betty says, welcome to Avery. Oh, goodness gracious, how far behind am I?
Oh, wow.
Oh, geez, I'm almost a half hour behind. Guys, I'm going to try to hurry up.
Okay.
That's what happens when we get chit-chatting. I may have missed some really good stuff. Darlene says hi to Avery. I see you were missed, man.
Hi.
I missed you.
Hello.
You know what's so funny about when we read comments like that? It kind of timestamps where they were and where we are. Guys, we're so bad. We're so bad. Nope. Let me step back. We are not bad.
You're bad.
We is me, myself, and I.
This is your boat, Captain.
That's right. It's all me. It's all me. I'm the one with the life preserver on, and I'll jump. I'm going down with the boat. So,
yeah.
Jim says, "Thanks to you, Drew, and all the scam baiters out there. That's probably you. That's probably you are getting less scam calls. These scammers are getting spooked." See, I don't know if I think a lot of times, because a lot of the people I talk to are they sound very new, and they sound very dumb, and it's almost like if they're smart and they have any level of intelligence, they're not calling me. But if they're new and they're dumb, they're going to call. They're going to take every call that somebody answers. They're going to try every single call where somebody picks up the phone. That's my bread and butter right there. Is the dumber they are, the newer they are, the funner they are to screw with. I almost cursed. Trying hard not to.
You almost said the F word.
I did. Emmanuel says, hey to Avery. Welcome back.
Hello, sir.
Dave says, hey to Avery. See, you're loved. You're missed.
Hey, hey, hey.
Roger's here. Roger says, good evening, Drew, from Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome. Hey, you guys put on a pretty good Super Bowl, by the way. In Las Vegas, you guys did a good job. It was a good Super Bowl. I watched part of the beginning, and then I watched the overtime. So it was good. It was good. I didn't watch the whole thing, just because I didn't really care who won or not. We watched the first half at least up until the halftime show, and then I watched the overtime. So good job, Roger. Manuel says good evening to Roger. Darlene says to Betty, I did write back to one scammer. Once when I had won millions of dollars to safeguard the Nigerian money. Laugh out loud. I don't know. All right, never mind. I'm not going to bring that up. But never mind. I still have that lottery scammer that I've got to call back and screw with some more. I just haven't done it yet. I released one video of the first 2 calls I got with the guy. I've had several calls with him that I'm going to make into a series of calls, but I never finished. I never called him back to screw with him some more. So we'll wrap that up soon and make those videos. Betty sends smiley faces. Roger says, my last name is used for the scam callers is Finn Jermy. Am I saying it right? Jermy or Jermy? Finn Jermy. Okay.
Finn Gurmy.
Finn. Oh.
Gurmy.
I was doing every single other pronunciation possible there,
except
wasn't
the
I?
one. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's right there in front of me and I just can't see.
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Manuel sends smiley faces. Betty says to Darlene, really? I bet there you 1,000 more Nigerian prince letters. Oh, yes. Burst says, when giving information to scammers, I usually take advantage of the fact that they may speak English, but not necessarily have comprehension of the language. That is absolutely true. Glenn says, utterly, question mark, with a cow image. Susie says, Vermont. Okay. Betty says to Burst, when I take scammers off the script, they often can hold a normal conversation. It is so weird. They often can hold a normal conversation. I've had talk to scammers who can actually talk off script, but it's very few. So many of them panic when you take them off script, or they lose their place. They don't know what to do. And honestly, that's fun too. BB says, I've been cutting out about 5 to 10 minutes early, as my son has something to watch together on Hulu while we still can. I soon have to get my own account, although we both paid half of the account. Do I have a Hulu account? Yes, I do. I have a Hulu account. I think we barely go to it. I think Mike used to use it.
You can't have multiple people on one Hulu account anymore?
I'm pretty sure you can, but I think they've been cracking down. That's part of the whole Disney thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Cracking down on users. So
I got rid of my Hulu account because I was just like, what they have. The reason I got Hulu was for certain anime shows.
Yep, same with Mike.
They weren't keeping up. So I've gotten rid of it, and I got Crunchyroll through Prime. So when I go to my Prime, there's HBO Max, and Crunchyroll all in the same app.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to bounce around. It's one chart, you know.
How many of them are you paying for though?
Oh, I'm paying for all of them.
Oh, okay. But through Amazon.
But through Amazon.
Okay.
So that way I don't have to bounce from app to app. It's all there.
Gotcha. Yeah, we bounce around from app to app, which is really funny because every night we sit down to watch something while we eat dinner, and the wife always has to say, what are we currently watching? And I'll say, like, we just wrapped up Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We just finished something else. There was another thing we just finished. We're all caught up. So now we got to go find something new. And we have to go through each app looking for what's new to find something new. So yeah, sometimes it's a pain. Sometimes it's fun.
I like if I want another app and Amazon offers it through Amazon, that's how I'll get it.
Okay.
Because it keeps everything right there. Because when you have Amazon Prime, you've got Prime and you've got Freebie all together. You don't have to have Freebie separate.
Okay.
And then you can buy.
Honestly, I don't think I have anything directly through my Prime. I have like an HBO Max and I have separate accounts for everything.
So you have to switch back and forth.
Yeah. Well, it's fine.
I don't have to. It's all there.
Okay. Well, you're lucky. You're smarter than me by a long shot.
It works. No, it's just easier.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, back to the chat. Birth says, really? Okay. I'm not sure what she was talking about, but okay. BB says, have now. Finish the part about the Hulu. Okay. Betty says, to get scammers to call you, just answer the phone. The more you answer, the more they call you. That I believe is 100% accurate. The more you answer the phone, the more they call you. David says, hey to everybody. Welcome, David. Darlene says, Rhode Island. Yep. That's the answer to the question. What is the smallest state with the longest original name? Rhode Island. The original name for Rhode Island was Rhode Island and Providence Plantation. Was the full original name of the state.
Nice.
Guess where I was born and from? The smallest state with the longest original name.
Rhode Island?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't live there very long. We didn't live there. We only lived there a few months before my dad in the Navy moved. But that's where I was born, was Rhode Island. So,
wow.
I know.
We know who to blame.
That's right. It's me. It's all my fault. Betty says, they even save the information about you. For example, if I answer in Spanish, they call me in Spanish. I've gotten Spanish calls, but I've never answered the phone in Spanish. I have gotten Spanish calls where whoever, it's usually one of those automated voices, robo voices talking in Spanish, like, nope, no, can't do this right now. Nope, nope, nope. But yeah, I'm sure I'm on somebody's list just to, they probably do that just to try to annoy me. But that's fine. Manuel says hello to David. David says hello back to Manuel. Betty says, here's my envelope, Andrew. Laugh out loud. Okay, thank you, Betty.
I was gonna wish him luck, because like no one's more annoying than Andrew. You'll never win.
I've known some other people who are more annoying than me. Very few.
Sure.
But yeah.
There's a couple.
There's a couple.
Maybe one or two.
Yeah, one or two. Andy says, you ever get accidentally scammed? You ever get accidental scams anymore? Not sure what you mean by accidental scams. Get accident scams, like accident helplines?
That's probably what they mean.
Yeah, I'll get those too. Oh yeah. Jim says, Rhode Island. Yep, there you go. There we go. Burr says, I can tell when my name is sold because I use fake information. Scam baiters taught me to do that, and I love it. The thing is, I have no idea what I'll come up with until the call comes in. I understand that completely. You know what's so funny is Carl Walters and James Spitzler were names I did not make up. They called and asked for those people, and I just said, yeah, that's me, and just went with it. I've gotten a new one. A lady called me and asked for John, and she didn't say the last name, so I don't know what last name is associated with it, but I may have a new secret identity or a new pseudonym, John something or other. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But I may have added a John to my list of names. Darlene says, we don't have any TV service, just internet and phone. Well, that's when they call and say they're calling from your TV service. You know it's 100% a scam. All in the World's a Stage says, hi, welcome to the show. Glenn says, a guy here in Colorado started getting calls day and night from the RTD police. Turned out his number is one digit different. The RTD goofed and put his number on all their posters at all the bus stops and light rails. Oh my gosh.
That's awful.
Holy cow.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh, they messed up and screwed up. That's insane. That's wow. Holy crap. I'm pretty sure that could happen very commonly. Somebody screws up and puts a number wrong, but dang. Betty says to Burst, yes, it's like playing the lottery. Laugh out loud. Berth says, right. Sarah says, Pennsylvania. Almost. David says, I've reported so many posts and profiles. Guys, my eyes are killing me today. I have reported so many posts and profiles on Facebook that they never remove them. I can believe that too. Burr says, Glenn, when are you in Colorado? I grew up in Aurora. Bernie B says, I get calls from my father who's been dead for 31 years. I tell the caller if they wanted to talk to him, it's a long distance call. I answer the phone when numbers come in on the home line. When I'm home, I answer the numbers. And we've lately been getting a lot of those, the healthcare reminders to set up your annual exams and so forth. And they're calling, asking for my father-in-law, who's now been gone at this point for over 3 years. And I'm like, thank God my mother-in-law is not answering, because she might just bawl if she got one of those calls, if she actually answered it. And I'm like, there's no way you're a legitimate company and don't know. You did not get his number from Medicare. You did not get his number from Social Security, because they all know he's no longer with us. So either you're working off of a really old list and you never update your list, or you're a scammer or a spammer. You know, I tend to try to fall on the side of they're working on outdated lists. but I've blown up at a couple of them because I've told them numerous times, he's no longer with us. Take our number off your call list. Don't call us. And they still call. They just swear off. But then again, that's life. Life in the fast lane of scam baiting. Sometimes you get legitimate calls that are just wrong. Oh, well. Betty says, David, yes, I heard Facebook is terrible at taking down scammer accounts. I could believe it. Sandy says, Michigan 21 degrees feels like 5 degrees. Oh, goodness. And supposed to start snowing. Tried to take the dog out, and when the cold air came in, she said, nope, not a chance. See, my dog, when he was with us, cold didn't bother him nearly as much as rain did. If it was even slightly drizzling outside, I would open the door, he'd look out there and go, nope, not going to happen. I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it till the next day. It's not raining. But cold, not so much. Cold didn't bother him. Plus he had a winter coat that we could put him in. Yes, Avery, I was one of those pet parents that dressed their dogs for the weather. He looked adorable, though. He was such a cutie patootie.
In the dog's defense, he didn't have a thick coat anyway.
No, he did not.
He was a very short-haired dog.
He was.
So,
but I love him.
In his defense, okay.
Yes. Manuel says, I tell her everyone say happy birthday, thank you, and to everyone in the chat. Fantastic. Tell your baby sister we all said happy birthday. David says they say it doesn't go against our rules. Facebook is all about making money. And if scammers are going to pay them money, they're going to take their money. You know?
A lot of the advertising on Facebook and even Instagram is very sus.
Mm-hmm. Very, very much so. Manuel says hello to Sandy. Happy Saturday night. Betty says to Sandy, it sends a smiley face. Roger says, I have 5 cats and 5 dogs now. Oh, that's about 8 too many. But honestly, don't tell them. But I love all our 4-legged friends in this house. I love them all. I think they're great. I don't claim a single one of them, except for technically I claim Regal when she's in my office. She comes into my office and she finds a perch. Like she'll find some comic book boxes and she'll sit on them and she'll lay on them and she'll watch me. And she's fine. Betsy, the monster, comes in and likes to sit on my keyboard, screw things up for me, which I've now learned how to get her out of my office. I take a receipt, I crumple it up, and I throw it out the door, and she goes running after it, and then I shut the door behind her. But Regal doesn't care. Regal's like, Regal's like, I'm old enough not to fall for that one. So right now they're all outside. I've heard Regal out there whining to try to come in, but if I ignore her, she'll just be patient and wait out there. Unless, Avery, you know what happens? Especially at night when I'm working and I have my headphones on and I'm working, the cat will be sitting outside the door meowing, and I'll ignore her because I'm busy working, right? And my wife will come and open the door and let her in. It's like, and then, yeah. Because the honest truth is she's tired of hearing her whine outside the door. So it happens. But more, my thoughts and prayers with you, my friend Roger. 5 cats, 5 dogs. Oh boy. Burr says, a friend lives in Tarver City, Michigan. I heard it's pretty there. I don't think I've ever been to Michigan. Nope. I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
Glenn says, do you have a service that drops off a dump truck load of cat litter? No, I literally buy 20 pounds of litter almost every day. What's crazy is when on Sunday nights, I take the trash out to the curb, and it's one of those city bins that you pull down and just roll out. That sucker is heavy every single week because it's got 40 to 60 pounds of cat litter in it every week. That thing is heavy. It feels like it. It feels like it. Darlene says, I had 11 cats for a while back in 1987. One of the cats had a litter of 9. Oh, That's a lot of cats.
Whoa,
A lot of cats. Sandy says hello to Manuel. BB says, okay, sorry, got to go. I have a great Sunday and a great week. Catch y'all next Saturday. Fantastic. That wasn't too long ago. It was only 28 minutes ago. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up really quick. I know there's still some more chats in here. I'm just going to skim through real quick, see if there's any good things in here. Andy says, I'm here in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is the capital, and Houston is the biggest city. So ask them that. Fantastic. That sounds great. Betty says, SimWatch is a very tragic scam for all that we keep on our phones. Scammers pretend to be Apple to get your account info, then pretend to be you with Apple to recover your account. Oh, that's disturbing that they do that. Birth says there's a scammer who told me once he lived in Miami. I asked him if it was affected by the blizzard, and he said they only got 8.5 inches. Really? Sarah says, is Avery awake? Yeah, he's awake.
Yeah.
He's good. Jim says, Avery is right. When those scammers insult your mother or sister, it's an elementary school stuff to us, but it's insulting to them. It is. They don't like it when you question their English. They don't like it when you question anything about how they talk or what they're saying. And so it's an easy go-to just to be childish as well. So Betty says to Burse, laugh out loud, we had no idea that what they were talking about. Smidgen says, ask scammers in Texas to tell you who fought in the Alamo. When they tell me they are calling from California, I ask them what is their favorite Indian casino is. That's a good one. Burr says, I have a family in every corner of Florida, so I know their weather throughout the year. That's good. Betty says to Smidgen, laugh out loud. Tarkor says, I do use a text now to play with the scammers. It's a deactivated number no one but scammers have. Now that's good. Birth says, I also use a text now number so I can deal with scammers. Love wasting their time thanks to the influence of scam baiting. Absolutely fantastic. Betty says, yes, text is now very useful. And she sends smiley faces. Manuel sends smiley faces. Sarah says, so blessed still have your mother. My mother died 10 years ago. I'm sorry to hear that, Sarah. Yeah, my mom's still kicking. You know what I just found out, Avery?
What's that?
Recently, my dad was in the hospital for something. It was nothing major, but he was in the hospital, and my mom got concerned. And I went and I sat down with her, and I told her, if something happens to Dad, I will move in with you and help you. Period. Whatever it is, I can do my job from anywhere. All I need is a computer. I will be here for you. Found out that she has talked to the kids, and she has made arrangements with my daughter and future son-in-law that if something happens to my dad, they're going to move in to help take care of her. And I'm like, what about me? Am I chopped liver? You know what she told me?
What's that?
She told me Raphael is so tall that he can help more around the house than I ever could. She doesn't need a ladder with him in the house. And I'm like, she goes, you see that ceiling fan? He dusted it last time he was here. You can't do that.
Well, aren't you already with your mother-in-law?
Yes, but I have my wife. My wife could do it. Well, that was the whole thing. It was my wife and I we would split. We would divide and conquer. You know, she would take care of her mother, and I'd take care of my mother.
No, your wife needs you around.
I know, but
that's a good situation. It's something happened to your father. It's wonderful that Ayla and Raphael would be there.
My mother was back dealing behind my back with my kids to make sure that she had somebody there.
It's wonderful.
No, it is. It is.
It's wonderful. You raised very good kids.
Oh, Susie says, what is the answer to your trivia question? Vermont? No, we already said it.
Rhode Island.
Darlene says Hulu used to be free at first. It used to be free.
Yeah, it was the basic Hulu was free, and you paid for no ads and some extra stuff. Yeah.
I think I pay. I think I have a package with Disney Plus for Hulu. I think it also includes one of the Sports Center things, ESPN, but I don't ever watch ESPN, so I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Betty said smiley faces. Sarah says, BB, how is your finger? I think BB's already left for the night, but the last week when we talked to her about it, she said doing much, much, much better. She did not break it, and it is doing much better. So I can answer that question. Yep. Darlene says, 15 years ago today, my father died. Mom last Easter. Sorry about that, Darlene. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're still with us and here for us, so I appreciate it.
Yep.
Smidgen says, I agree with Avery. Having Amazon Prime and access to other streamers and to the other streamers providers.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good way to go.
Darlene says, my mother's brother and family live in Rhode Island. I still have family in Rhode Island, but I haven't been back since. Was it my cousin's graduation? Yeah, and her daughter's getting ready to be age of graduating, so it's got to be a while. It's been a while since I've been there. Susie says, I Googled it, said Delaware less than 1 million, like Rhode Island is over 1 million. Oh, and she's talking about population-wise. Now, I was talking about original name. So I got to be better with my trivia questions, man. I really do. Zero Infinity says, you should call them and tell them to take the poster and ads down and change it. And Zero Infinity sends smiley faces and clapping. Manuel says, hey to Zero Infinity. Glenn says, Burse, I'm in Longmont, just north of Boulder. Darlene says, when I lived in New York in the 80s, I got calls for the Women's Crisis Center in the middle of the night. I had unplugged my phone a lot. Oh, wow. Tim says, my late brother once gave my name in reference to a Penny's credit card. Really? Oh, geez. Smidgen says, those wellness calls start the beginning of the year, can be from medical services wanting to ask you all these questions so that you get to go down to your own doctor during the year. They ask the questions and don't charge money. Well, the last one that I talked to told me that they got the number from Social Security or it was Medicare. And I'm like, there's no way. Medicare has not, because one of the things that was in their script was that it's a service that they provide for paying Medicare recipients. My father-in-law has not gotten any Medicare benefits in over 3 years. None whatsoever. So there's no way he's still on there. But then again, it's a government entity. It's a government. I honestly, I think that could explain a lot of it. But they're not paying for his health care anymore. So
yeah, somebody out there could be using his information.
I don't think they're using his information, but I'm pretty sure they're just using old lists.
Yeah, because remember, when it comes to our government, they don't even question it when dead people vote.
Oh yeah, I know. Betty says to Smidgen, could be trying to get your insurance information for Medicare fraud. It is also possible. Sarah says, my aunt used to say my maid didn't speak English. My aunt used to say my maid didn't speak English, I think is what she was trying to say. Betty sends smiley faces. Sarah sends good night. Okay. Yes, we're wrapping up. I'm almost to the very end, guys. I almost caught up. Betty says good night to Sarah. Sarah says, I have a person in my neighborhood that walks her one dog and has her other dog in a baby stroller. That's funny when you see it. It's silly, but it's funny. Wayback's here. Hey, Wayback, how's it going? Says good day from Melbourne, Australia. Well, thank you for joining. We're wrapping up now, but I appreciate you coming in, saying hi. Manuel says hello to Wayback. Glenn says, wow, running late. Good chat tonight. Okay, excellent. Hey, I'm almost caught up. Wayback says hi to Manuel. David says good night to everybody. And then Smidgen has the last word by saying, I'm listening while fixing some dinner. So hi and good night to everybody. All right, excellent. Caught back up. It only took 30 minutes to catch up to the chat. Everybody, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I hope you all have a safe and happy week coming up. If any of you have Monday off as a holiday, I hope you enjoy it. I am off from my 2-3 main jobs. But I look forward to getting some scam calls because they work the holidays. And as I always say, if you guys get calls like the ones I get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do screw with them, try to record it. Record it and share it with everybody. Like the golden rule says, screw and share. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining. Hope you all have a great week, and we'll catch you all next Saturday. Take it easy, everybody. And thank you again.